to critical infrastructure across Puerto Rico. Their dedication to duty and commitment to excellence reflects great credit upon them, the Savannah District, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And Luke, if you would call forward our awardees.
Sean Molina.
Here we go.
Right. Get that.
James Wade.
We're painting that a picture, yeah? We'll get this organized here. Right here. No, that's why I put it on your pocket. All right.
Severin Logan.
Right. All right. All right. Thanks. Yeah.
Stacy Payne. Yeah, safety. Also, on the front of the plaque for the folks that are members of the power team, there's a piece of grounding rod that's mounted on the front. Lonnie Croft.
Sure. Right. Right.
Craig Beretta. Chandra Crow. Carlos Flores. Michelle Umler.
All right.
Curtis Bean.
There you go.
Anna Mitchell. Kevin Turman.
All right.
Okay, did Troy Gilbert show up? Come on up. They sneak up.
Hey, Troy. Right.
Okay, did Kenneth Miller show up? Did you sneak in? About Sean McCann? Somebody? All right, August Hoffer? All right, last, Patricia Ramos.
We know who does the hard work behind the scenes.
Yes.
You want to do that?
Nope, we want to do one other thing.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Hey, one other thing before we put the table back, I forgot. Could you, first of all, round of applause to the big team here. Now, as you know, every team has to have a leader, right? There's somebody who, you know, in this case, we had two great leaders here, and today I want to recognize our own Lieutenant Colonel Banda. He's got this awesome plaque here. It says, "I sincerely appreciate your initiative and dedication to duty as demonstrated by your recent deployment to Puerto Rico with temporary power planning and response team in response to Hurricane Fiona. Your hands-on leadership directly contributed to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers successfully completing the temporary power emergency response mission during a high op-tempo event. Your commitment to maintaining standards of excellence during a time of crisis, combined with your leadership and management expertise, greatly facilitated the execution of vital tasks for the enterprise. Thank you again for your service and support to USACE as the Deputy District Commander." This is signed from General Graham. And also here, a similar note from Mr. Hill, the Director of Contingency Operations.
Okay. What? Oh,
But wait,
here, let me
Yeah, so I don't want anybody to think that Luke has been forgotten, because he has not.
That was supposed to be the last thing.
It was supposed to be. I don't think so. But you know, I hate to say the check is in the mail, but in this case, the check is somewhat in the mail for a few people. You know, if there are certainly power team members that were not here today to receive their award in person, they are not forgotten. We also have their awards as well. And so if you're not here, or if you're from another district and you happen to be watching, your awards will be making their way out to you if they haven't made it to you already. So we definitely want to thank everybody on the team. We do appreciate those who are able to make it into the town hall today to receive theirs in person. And Luke, yours, unfortunately, is in the mail. So, but ma'am, if we could.
Yeah.
All right, Luke, you got one more thing that you wanted to present.
Yes. So this thing right here is something that we had put together for the team. So like it was mentioned in there, we did have a presidential visit, and what you're going to see here. This was presented, flown during the presidential remarks. You can see it in the background if you look up the 3rd of October POTUS visit to Ponce, Puerto Rico. You'll see the banner, and you saw it in the video where all the folks were signing it. So this will be displayed in the district here in the headquarters for folks to go by and look at it. What you'll notice here is there's some This right here down at the bottom is actually a piece of the original, the first install that we did in Guanica. One of the power cables that the colonel had cut up, and so that we saved it. So that's got some grounding wire around it, and it's also one of the main power cables, and that's mounted. And then you'll also see coins from all of the districts that we supported, including Walla Walla, but also Savannah and Jacksonville and Louisville and Pittsburgh and who's the last one? One more. There was one more, yeah, that I'm forgetting. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to show this to you all and let you see what it looks like. Yeah. All right. There we go.
Hey, thanks again, both to Lieutenant Colonel Banda, Luke, and the entire power team here. Things you did out there was incredible, and definitely this is well-deserved, all of you guys. So congrats.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Next up, if I can get Paul up here. Is Paul here?
There
Hey,
he is.
there he is. He's got the big Santa hat on. Hey, you know what? There we go. All right, now I'm ready. All right. So what we want to do now is a couple people I want to recognize. The last two heroes that we recognized here today, and I brought up Paul because I want him to talk about both of them and the achievements that they had. We can go to the next slide. It has the right up here. The first one. Go ahead, Paul. I'll let you talk.
I don't know about this one.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I got
totally not
No, I'm sorry,
prepared.
Paul. I didn't. So, yep, Bill. He's our. So he was the USACE hero report for Walla Walla District. He was also the division's hero, chief of maintenance at Lower Granite. Bill kept the plant operating despite 2 vacancies in the maintenance technician positions. Instead of letting the technicians' incomplete work build up, he took the initiative to learn the FEM software. He developed all required preventative maintenance work orders and entered maintenance staff times, captured costs, and closed out all work orders. Because of his leadership, Lower Granite's performance metrics are solid in all categories. Even with those additional duties, he managed to remain engaged with his staff, and his acquired skills have made him a better supervisor and enabled him to professionally execute our next round of maintenance techs. So he's nominated by this award by his staff due to his superb leadership, communication skills, and dedication. So great work. The other person we'd like to recognize is Bill Getz.
John
John
Getz.
Getz. Woo. Sorry.
Do we make John come up?
Yeah,
He's too happy in the back row back there. So let's. I even saw him dancing in his chair a little bit. So John, because I'm in a Santa hat, I'm embarrassing you? John Getz has proven his dedication to the success of the Walla Walla District through his recent completion of the LDP program, volunteering for a developmental position as an admin officer, supporting Little Goose and Lower Monumental as a budget analyst, and accepting a promotion at the district office, all at the same time. Pretty amazing, John. He did it all while continuing to support district projects during multiple budget analyst vacancies. And your skills were especially notable as you prepared for the end of fiscal year 2022 and while setting up fiscal year 2023. John's positive attitude, willingness to learn, ability to cover multiple positions, and willingness to lend a hand were a credit to Operations Division and the entire Walla Walla District. John, we are thrilled to have you here. So thank you.
And, ma'am, we get to continue.
Who is that?
It's
Oh, my goodness.
Paul's got his bells on. Literally got the bells on. So, man, we get to continue our recognition of hardworking employees, and in this case, we're going to recognize Mr. Holacek, who, as many of you know, has Dean. You can make your way up here. Has taken the position as the division tribal liaison, and so with that, I am going to read the citation, and in just a moment, we're going to have your award over here and get your photograph taken. So. Yeah. So for exceptional contributions, I'm sorry, let me back up. The Department of the Army is awarding the Civilian Service Commendation Medal to Dean Holacek for exceptional contributions to the Walla Walla District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers as the tribal liaison from July 2015 to June 2022. Mr. Holacek's achievements include successfully representing the Corps of Engineers in complex negotiations with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Nez Perce tribe that culminated in the tribe realizing their longstanding goal of full responsibility for fish production at Dworshak National Fish Hatchery. He worked effectively across district staff elements to ensure that federal Indian trust responsibility was considered in the development of district policies. Mr. Holacek greatly expanded district outreach efforts to the Upper Snake River tribes, resulting in improved relations and opportunities for tribal development. In 2019, he was selected by USACE headquarters to plan and lead the Tribal Liaison National Conference in Orofino, Idaho. Mr. Holacek's service reflects great credit upon himself, the Walla Walla District, the Northwestern Division, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Signed, Brigadier General Van Epps. Congratulations, Dean.
Hey, great job, Dean. All right, what do we got next?
So next, we're going to recognize somebody who put in many, many years of hard work here at the district and has recently retired, not too long ago. But I'd like to ask for Carrie Round to come up to the front. I think, oh, there he is. I saw you here earlier. So just a few weeks ago, the commander, General Van Epps, and Paul all went down to Boise, where many of the federal Columbia River Power System partners were gathered. And there they recognized excellence. And Carrie, you are one of the individuals that they have identified as having made exceptional contributions over your years of service. So for that, they would like to recognize you with the Federal Columbia River Power System Meritorious Service Award. And I'll read you the citation here while the award is brought over. So Carrie Ron retired from the Corps of Engineers in June 2022 after more than 36 years of federal service with the Walla Walla District. Carrie started his career in the Walla Walla District as a young electrical engineer, eventually working his way from a junior engineer to the chief of electrical design section, then took on roles with the project and program management office. From 2014 to 2022, Carrie was the BPA Large Cap Program Manager for the Walla Walla District. Carrie was a true pioneer and one of the key members in standing up the BPA Large Cap Program business process as we know it today. His contributions to the FCRPS have elevated him to a role model among his coworkers, peers, and the many junior engineers, project managers, and program managers who were privileged to work with him. And for that, Carrie, thank you so much for your service to the nation and to the Federal Columbia Power System. And that wasn't the only award that district brought home. We also have, and I'm going to be standing right in the way of the screen here if I stay there, we also have 2 team awards that we were recognized for. The first award that we can bring up onto the screen is the FCRPS Team Award for Excellence. And this is specifically the contributions that Ice Harbor Unit 3 Assembly and Installation brought to the district. So, and if we go one more slide, we should have the names of all the individuals on there. So I'm not gonna go through and read everybody's name, but you can see them here. Everybody who contributed to this is recognized. And this is the citation that we would like to have everybody here. So in February of 2022, Voith Hydro Inc. completed assembly of Ice Harbor Unit 3 replacement turbine runner, and it was set into place along with the turbine shaft. The Unit 3 runner is an adjustable blade design, which is optimized for generating efficiency and has smooth flow characteristics that make it extremely fish-friendly. The runner assembly and the shaft installation is a significant achievement and a major milestone in returning the unit to service, currently scheduled for fall of 2022, which, as we know, happened. This new adjustable blade runner is anticipated to see 3 to 4% efficiency gain in power generation and more than 98.2% direct survival rate of ESA listed species. So those individuals listed here will have a certificate out to you here in the very near future. Congratulations. And we also have another team award that came out of that gathering in Boise. And this time, the Lower Monumental Spillway Repair Team was recognized for their maintenance excellence. And with that, the citation reads, please go ahead to the next slide. For meritorious service in returning 6 of 8 spillway gates back to service under budget and ahead of schedule, the Lower Monumental Operations, engineers, and maintenance teams collaborated and identified a method to install a greasing system using on-site personnel and eliminating contractor support. Further, the applied lessons from each gate, reducing repair times with each one during high flows and poor weather conditions, contributed to this success. This is one of the best examples of collaboration between technical and maintenance employees, resulting in an efficient and less costly repair method. The Lower Monumental team brings great credit upon themselves, the Walla Walla District, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Congratulations to everybody who contributed to that.
Hey, thanks. I almost said major. Ooh, I would have owed him 10 push-ups if I did that. Thanks, Lieutenant Colonel Vandup. All right. Thanks again to everyone, and congratulations to everyone who was recognized today. So the first thing I want to start off with, and I don't know if you saw this email, but General Spellman put out a 59 minutes rule for the day. So, yay! So the first thing I want to start off with is talking about some of the great accomplishments we've had over the past year. I know I wasn't here the whole year, I was here half the year, but I do want to just briefly talk about some of the highs and maybe one of the lows that we had over this past year, significant events that we all just should take a moment to recognize that great things that we've done and seen. So first thing, we mentioned it before, Dean's here, right? So he had a big part, as well as our attorneys and everyone, a big part in the Door Shack hatchery fish production transfer to the Nez Perce tribe. Big accomplishment there, long 10 years plus or something in the planning. So awesome accomplishment, team. As I'd mentioned before, not everything was a positive. And so I have to bring, I want to bring up the loss of our dear teammate, of course, Eric Engel. I met with the family yesterday. It was really, really hard. Of course, they're met with them yesterday. And Paul and myself will be going around over the next month, talking to different project sites to just answer any questions and just make sure everyone, is understanding and we can learn from the lessons there and to help prevent anything tragic like this from happening again in the future. Other things that we've done this past year, just recently, we have our bill-funded award of the McNary Upstream Crane. That's a great accomplishment, $10 million right there. Okay, so Walla Walla's got a lot of attention from high leadership, right? So who's come to visit us? All these great, important people. So ASA Civil Works, Mr. Connor, we've seen him twice this year already. Door Shack and at Lower Granite. We've seen the Congressional Western Caucus. They toured Ice Harbor. That was with Representative Newhouse and others. Our Sergeant Major Toussaint, he visited as well. He went out to Door Shack and a couple other places. And he gave us, the chief's priorities and his priorities. Of course, General Graham came out a couple times. He came out to the district headquarters and he went out to Ice Harbor as well. I know Ice Harbor got a lot of love this year. A lot of love. And then, of course, General Spellman. He came out to the district and spoke with us here and visited for a little while there. And then additional Congresswoman McMorris Rogers. She had also come out this year out to Little Goose. So all great attention from these folks. You know, just last week, it was last week, Alan and I went out to the Hill and we were talking to a lot of folks out there, are the people who, you know, care about things we do in this district. And one of the things that was a common theme of discussion was the Lower Snake River dams and breach removal talk. Well, the positive thing that came out of that, I don't know if you've seen the draft WRDA, but there's no language in there at all about talking about breach or dam removal or anything like that. And we have a lot, we can thank you all, you know, given these tours that I just talked about, that helped those folks see the great work we've done. The public, you know, things that we pushed out on social media, people just doing great things at the operating sites and showing the value that we give to the Pacific Northwest through our hydropower dams and, you know, making our turbines fish friendly and our dam passage fish friendly. So that was a positive, was going out there and talking to these folks, and they all were like, how can we help? You know, what can we do, you know, to ensure that these dams stay? You know, so we got a lot of support up there from our folks on the Hill, and it worked out, you know. So that's a great news story. So thank you. Okay, so if we could go to the next slide. I want to show you, I know this is a busy slide. I'm not going to break the slide. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to put this up there because every year, David Hoffer and his team and all of you guys provide input, and we do this workforce analysis. And what it does is it evaluates our workload compared to our workforce compared to the workload, programmatic workload and funding analysis we have. There's a lot of numbers and stuff on there. I just wanted to show you kind of some of the things that they do. But basically, what I can tell you is a couple things. So we have had a greater than 20% increase programmatically over the next fiscal years. Thank you to the bill funding, right? This is the biggest year ever for Walla Walla. So what are the challenges that we are met with to ensure that we can meet what is expected of us, okay? So we're going into the risk areas here. The risk areas that were found is going to be recruiting and retaining, especially in several critical areas. And I'll list those, like safety, logistics, realty, regulatory, natural resources, electricians, mechanics, and engineers, biological science techs. Some of those areas are the biggest, where we're having the biggest recruiting and retention problems that we found through this analysis. Kind of a good thing. So the FY23 turnover rate, so our retention rate is expected to be a lot lower than the last fiscal. Last fiscal year was pretty high compared to the average, at high of about 18% turnover. It's pretty significant. Average is about 10%. So the expectation, though, is this next fiscal year is going to be closer to that 10%. That's good. So those challenges that you know, with retention, recruitment, and with being able to meet this 20% increase of our workload, it really, you know, magnifies a lot of things. I think what it's going to mean is it's going to increase our reliance on overtime, which, you know, that in itself has challenges, right? We're overworking, stressing people out, really expecting, you know, everyone, smaller teams to accomplish the work. So what does that mean to you all, to each other? So, you know, watch out for each other's morales, you know, talking to each other, understanding how you're all working, focusing on safety with each other, and accountability of each other, right? So really, we're all going to be working a little harder until we can match, you know, our workforce or workload. And so, you know, our expectations of you are great, but that's because we know you all are great. You all can do great things. So just look out for each other, because sometimes the stress levels can get high in those times of, you know, mission is high up here and now we got to perform higher. So let's look out for each other, talk to each other, and make sure we know where we are mentally and morally, so we can lift each other up when we're down. The opposite division especially sees a lot of these challenges and high risk when it comes to this. In the past, there's been a decrease in O&M funding and the reduction of staff because of CRSO in the past. And then, I'm sorry, not CRSO, but past reduction of staff just because of how it was done in the division. And now we need to do an increase, right? And then the CSR spill requirements, how those have changed and increased maintenance and all these other things are affecting the ops division, which has just, led to a higher demand on a smaller workforce. And additionally, they're faced with a lot of geographical challenges, trying to get folks out to Little Goose, for example, and it's so remote and so hard to get to. It's hard to recruit and sometimes hard to retain folks in those types of locations. So just something for awareness is, that's also a challenge there, especially with the operations division. So then I'm going to talk about what are we going to do? What's our strategy to help mitigate some of these risks that I'm talking about so that we can meet our workload and workforce together? Well, of course, the division chiefs are all empowered to have the authority for independent approval of staffing increases and upgrades. That's been a thing and it continues to be a thing. We continue to exercise recruitment and relocation incentives and also retention incentives. I think that's a really effective tool and we continue to use that. We've maximized opportunities for SSR and other pay rate increases. Through the help of our workforce manager, are you here, Valerie? Yep, way in the back, there was a hand. So with her help, we've really maximized volunteer and outreach opportunities. She sends out a lot of emails like, hey, this is recruitment events. Here's some resumes. She's really working hard to help provide, everyone an outlook of where we can recruit from, who's out there. We use our DHAs where it's applicable, continue to do that. And really, we continue to build the bench with local internships, apprenticeships, and pathways programs. So, and you can see there, leveraging workplace flexibilities continues. And those are different ways we're going to mitigate the risk up in this upcoming year. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about workload workforce. Next, please. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, so last town hall, I talked a little bit about the command climate survey and the action plan that came out of it. Well, the feds, the other survey you all took around the same time, those results also came out. So what the team did here was basically take the analysis that came out of the feds and crosswalk it with command climate survey, mesh it up, make sure that our action plan is in line with both surveys now, not just the command climate survey. So this action plan consists of 7 main things that I talked about before. I have a little bit of an update to give you on it, but what I'm just showing here is that between the feds and CCS, our action plan did line up to address the concerns and comments that came out of both surveys. And those main topics are in the middle there. So the topics basically that we're addressing is communication, our work environment, leadership skill and supervisor skill development, a work-life type of balance, and mentorship opportunities. So just like, I don't have an update on every single one, but my goal and as part of the results is to express to you and communicate to all of you progress that we're making based on off of all of your comments, and to let you know that, hey, we're listening to what you say. These surveys aren't just read and then thrown away. No, we look at it, we develop things that we can action and try to fix in the district according to what you all have asked us to do. So action 1 there, what's new there? So we're bringing back Commander's Coffees. It's not going to be a virtual thing. So Commander's Coffees is going to be just a face-to-face, an ability to exchange face-to-face information, to work with each other, talk to each other, an ability for you all to have the chance to talk to me or other district leadership, and just have conversations, have that cultural exchange and that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, and ma'am, with that,
Yeah.
so the first one's coming up in January.
That's right.
So if we're going to start here in the headquarters, and then we're going to be making our way around to the different sites across the district. So please keep your ear out. And one of the things that we want to know too, we'll send an email out, but what's on your mind? We don't necessarily want this to be a complaint session. We can hear if you have things to say, but we want to have a conversation. And so when we send an email out, we'll also be soliciting topics that you might want to hear more about from Colonel Kingslack.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. On the second one, we talk about communication, and that's kind of what we're doing here and at the coffees is communicating to you the results of the survey and other things, and just letting you know how we as a district as a whole is trying to improve our organization based on what you guys suggested. The next one action, we improving leadership skills. So that's in development now. They're developing a concept plan on how that's going to look between our training officer and Jamie Howard's kind of championing this one. And that's looking at like improving leadership skills, supervisor training skills, that kind of thing. And the remaining ones, 4 through 7, again, they're still works in progress on how we can develop it. Providing resilience and resilience training or resilience and wellness events, and looking at how can we make this roundtable work to help solve things at the lowest levels when there's employee concerns, that kind of thing. So, yeah, unless there's questions on this, I just wanted to give you a quick update on where we are with it and how we're working to improve the district based on your all's feedback. So, all right. The last thing I want to talk about is the district's birthday. So next year is the 75th anniversary. Who didn't know that? Oh, well, I'm glad I'm talking about it then. My goodness. We have a lot to do. Okay, so the 75th. So yeah, Walla Walla was started, well, by next year, it'll be 75 years ago, starting with the McNary Dam and Lock project. So what we're going to do is next year is take this opportunity for our 75th anniversary to like highlight our past, our present, and the future of the Walla Walla district. And how we're going to do that is, man, the PA office and their team that they've gathered together has got like great ways of how we're going to start highlighting. It's going to be through the stories of the great work you all do. We're going to like put employee spotlights out there and like say, hey, let's put you on camera and put you on YouTube and on social media, and people in the district and everyone can get to know each, individuals and the great things that you all do. So it's not going to just be here at the headquarters, of course. We're going to go out to the project sites. We're going to go out to different places and have people talk on camera when they feel comfortable to, and let people know the great things that Walla Walla District does and has done. So we're starting in January with a Rich History of Mill Creek project. And yeah, so that's that. That's the 75th anniversary. It'll be fun. Yeah. Okay. So the last thing I want to do, unless you want to talk about 75th?
Not about 75th, ma'am, but we do have a couple others that have a few announcements that we'll want to bring up here before we wrap things up too.
Yeah, let's talk about, before I go to questions stuff, let's go to Michael Schaefer.
Michael, are you, I think I saw you out there. There he is. I'll bring a microphone around if you can make your way to the front. And then Callie, if you're somewhere nearby, if you want to start making, perfect. All right, Michael. I'm going to give you the microphone here. And the bottom.
All about the ACE committee and what we're up to. We're planning to do a ball next year, March. Got to confirm the actual Friday. Actually, ball be on a Saturday. We're going to have a good picnic again. We have money. We need volunteers. We're going to be raising money routinely. We're going to get back to the third Wednesday. And the future is bright for the ACE committee. We have a lot of bright faces and good ideas. Starting in January, we're going to have a little new organization, and you'll probably see Jack Sharp standing up here a little more. So be ready to help Jack do stuff. Nothing but gratitude from me. Thank you so much. It's going to be a big year.
And so we're looking to work with the ACE committee as well to help celebrate the 75th anniversary. So if you want to be a participant in that, please, sounds like you got to look up Jack Sharp or some of the other ACE committee members, and they'll get you involved. Callie, I know you have some announcements you'd like to make about CFC.
Yes. So if you still have present shopping to do for Christmas, which I'm assuming most people still do because it's not the 24th yet, if you need something, I still have fantastic mugs for CFC. So if you want to get onto givecfc.org and sign up for your payroll deduction, pick your favorite charity. There are a lot of great ones to choose from. And then come find me and get yourself one of these great travel mugs, hot or cold liquids. They work both ways, I promise. I'm more than happy to give one to you and to stop storing them under my desk year after year. Oh, sure. Okay. There you go. Sign up for your favorite. It is givecfc.org, and I will send you more emails, I promise. There will always be emails from me in your inbox throughout the year for either CFC or the ACE committee when we have pizza and I need you to come eat it.
Oh, thanks, Callie. Awesome. Okay. All right. Next is our last piece of the official program, and that's question and answer session. So I'm going to open it up for anyone to ask any type of question. My first question is, go Army or beat Navy? Which one is it, huh? And there's only one answer, of course, is go Army. Yes.
So the best response I saw on the web was whiskey glass, and it says Army because no kid ever went and played Navy.
All right.
Brian's holding it in up here. What a good sailor.
All right. Questions from anybody? Who has the best office space decorated? Oh, H&H. Okay. We'll see. To be seen. Not you. Okay. Yeah. What do you got? Anything about spiders? I got a question about spiders once. No? Okay. Okay. Do you all know that I have a anonymous commander's inbox? Yeah. You just go online. You can like submit a comment on there. Those go directly to my email, and it could be anonymous or you can put your name on it, whichever. And I make sure all of those are answered and looked into. So that's a really great way to, like, if you are too shy to ask questions right now, or if, you know, tomorrow you would think of a question, to go on there and to just put a little comment or question on there. They are all looked at by me. Yes, Alan.
I've got a question. I hear a lot of feedback that seems to be pretty good about the fitness program. Is that going to continue past this pilot effort?
Good question. Who uses the fitness program, huh? Awesome. Who here needs to use the fitness program? Good. And it is an excellent way for you to use that program. Is David here? I'm going to call on you in a minute. But it is a great way for you to focus on your health and to use, 80 hours admin? 80 hours. And using that time so that you can put it back into yourself and your body and your health, mental and physical health. It's a great program. I totally encourage you to use it. In the Army, we have that program. It's called mandatory PT. So I'm glad we can give it to you guys. Okay, David, are you here? What the heck? Where's David Hoffer? All right. Well, that's okay. So yeah, I guess he's still decorating. Isn't time pencils down? All right. So my understanding is the pilot is in April, ends or whatever in April. However, all indications lead towards currently at least extension of the program, but it is not official yet. So I think at the next RG and the regional governance meeting I have with division and all that, we're going to talk about it. So I should get a more definitive answer then, I'm hoping. But they did ask for feedback, and everyone, the district commander's feedback, and everyone's been putting positive vibes up to the division. So we're hoping to continue with our health program. Good question, Ellen. I think you knew the answer, though. What else?
How many people are using it here?
David, where are you? All right. Ask David. Everybody, I want you all to go find David Hoffer and ask him that question because he's not here to know. I mean, I think it was, you guys remember how many?
I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that it's been popular. A lot of people raise their hands, but I think David Hoffer might wave a little bit of a BS flag and say, I'm not sure that if you're doing it, are you coding it correctly in CFMS? And so I think that would be where he would say, I mean, ultimately, when we have this discussion that she's talking about, we need the data to show that there's actual use along with the interest. So if you're not coding it in CFMS, then we don't have visibility on it. And so that's where we really need your help, is that if you like it, make sure that we can see the data to support it. And so I think that would be David Hoffer's response if he were here.
Yep. Jamie. Yeah.
Hold on. The last numbers I got was over 5,000, and I think that was through November. It was about 5,300.
Awesome.
Which actually was, as Alan said, a little bit low. We don't, have to make sure everybody's accurately capturing it.
Thank you, Jamie. Anyone interested in the spider situation? No? Okay. Somebody asked me, we got spiders in this building. What are we doing to take care of these spiders? First of all, I care about all animals. So if I find a spider, I will capture it and take it outside. However, I know not everybody feels that way about spiders, and they probably get the icky ickies. So you're encouraged to submit a detailed work request via the SharePoint site to ULA. Is Keith here? Anyway, ULA, what did I say? ULA.
ULA. Yeah. So I mean, the long story made kind of condensed here. If you see something that's needs repair in the building, or you have a pest management issue, right? We have on the SharePoint site in blue a button that says submit a maintenance work request, and once you submit that, it gets into the queue, and then we can address whatever needs to be done. But it needs to have enough specificity so that we know where to find it. In this circumstance, the request that we got about the spiders was unidentified. We don't even know if it was this building, so I'm not sure if I can help you. But if you do put in a work request through the SharePoint site, it does ask you for the location and a little bit more specificity. So please help us out with that, and we'll help you.
Yes, we will. All right. Other questions? Not, we're gonna move on soon. Oh, there's one back there. The mic.
So I was curious what the Corps is doing about improving safety on sidewalks during snowy days. Is there a plan being implemented?
Okay. Question major.
Yeah. So I'll get it. I got it.
Yeah, go ahead and answer while I do my push-ups.
Zero.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I did get a anonymous inbox request forwarded to me from the commander asking about what are we doing about maintaining the sidewalks that we all use here. So I guess just to kind of make sure that we're all on the same page, the district is responsible for the sidewalks surrounding our campus and the sidewalks that are within, like the streets. So the street on this side, and up to the Mill Creek channel on the south. When we start talking about sidewalks that are on the north side of the building, or if you park over in the north parking lot, those are all the responsibility of the city. We cannot do that on their behalf. But what we do is we do contact them and we say, look, we have a lot of people. That's a very heavily used parking lot, probably one of the most popular and most frequently used lots in the city. And so we ask them to prioritize that in their snow removal plan. Does it happen that it's the first one that's cleared all the time? I can confidently say probably not. But we do contact the city. We do work closely with them to try and make sure it's as safe as possible so that we don't have any slips or falls as folks are coming into the building.
All right. Thank you for the question. Last one, Rodney. Actually, I don't know. What time are we ending this at? 11:30? So we got more time?
Maybe repetitious, but have we had any updates on official travel for unvaccinated employees?
Okay. I can ask I can answer that question a little bit. So then I'll turn it over to him. No. So no, there's not an update on that currently. However, what I do want to tell you is when I went up to, we did our Hill and GAO visits, headquarters USA's visits last week, I did meet with the brigade or the surgeon, Commander Janesco, and he, kind of manages this information. So what he told me is what we as headquarters USA's have done is send an amendment request for an amendment to the current policy up to the Undersecretary of the Army's office, requesting that we make exceptions for those who are not vaccinated to be allowed to travel who are scientists or for training purposes. So the addendum request was sent up. They have not heard back yet on where it's going to go. And they do not expect to hear any approval or anything like that because, as you know, we're still waiting on if there's going to be any change to the travel restriction. So just letting you know, the headquarters understands, and they also, would like that addendum made, but there's no progress, and we're not expecting anything anytime soon.
So if you're also watching the news, you'll see that the National Defense Authorization Act has some language in it that is repealing the vaccination requirement for service members. That's going, my understanding is it's going to the president's desk for approval. I don't know when that is going to get inked, but I have asked division and headquarters if that language includes civilian Department of the Army employees. And as it stands right now, the answer to that, unfortunately, is no. So when it comes to being able to increase our travel, the NDAA legislation does not appear that it's going to be supportive of loosening those travel restrictions. In time, I mean, I would, and I, don't pin me down on this, but if I were a policymaker in DC, and a lot of those policymakers are also wearing the same fabric that you are, they would look at that and say, boy, I think that if we're allowing our uniformed service members to travel, why are we restricting the civilian employees? So, let's be patient. I hate to say that, it's going to come tomorrow, because it's not. Things will take time, but bear with it. And I think we're going to see changes here as this legislation continues to move forward.
Thanks, Rodney. What else you guys got? I don't see any hands. All right.
Ma'am, I made a faux pas earlier,
Uh-oh.
but I think we can correct this. If Ricardo Walker is here, could I ask you to come forward? No? Okay. So I just pointed out my own mistake, but what I will do is I will make right by it. So I have a plaque here that is in recognition of the Ice Harbor Unit 3 Assembly and Installation Project. And I was supposed to present this to Ricardo on behalf of everyone who participated in making that a successful installation. So my apologies for not doing this earlier, but please, at some point accept this with my apologies.
Okay. I don't think there's any, unless there's more questions, I'll give you another chance here. Because if not, I think I'm going to cut a little early so we can get into the festivities of the day. What do we got lined up for today, huh? Anyone tell me? So I'll tell you. 59 minutes. That's number one that he, on his mind, of course.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to soon here move to the Christmas tree area. We're going to charge our glasses with fake wine. And then after we do that toast, I'm going to go around and go to y'all's areas and check out decorations you got going on. And we're going to figure out who's got the best one. And then you get kudos for the rest of the year. So that'll be fun. Okay, so this time, if y'all want to move to the back, we're going to go ahead and do the toast. What? Oh, okay. You can ask that.
Well, I did because of the wording. So that's all I'm going to show it to you. But
Okay.
yeah, stick it off.
Yeah, just let Japan know.